Occam's razor. Occam's razor. Explanations should never multiply causes without necessity when multiple explanations are offered. The simplest full explanation is preferable. Hanlon's razor. Hanlon's razor never attribute to malice that which is more easily explained by stupidity, carelessness, or laziness. Hitchens Razor. Hitchens Razor. What can be asserted without evidence can also be dismissed without evidence. Alder's razor. Alder's razor or Newton's flaming laser sword. What cannot be settled by experiment is not worth debating. Hume's guillotine. Hume's guillotine. What ought to be cannot be deduced from what is. So much for Hume's warning about the mistake of basing morality either on fact or on reason, rather than on sentiment. Grice's razor. Grice's razor. Most people are bad at expressing themselves, so don't interpret their words literally, but rather by what they are most likely to mean. Einstein's razor. Einstein's razor make things as simple as possible, but no simpler. Feynman's razor. Feynman's razor. If you can't explain something to a child, you don't understand it yourself. It's only when you fully grasp a topic that you can distill it down to its essence. Gell-Mann's razor. Gell-Mann's razor. Assume every media article contains a percentage of false information. Popper's razor. Popper's razor. For a theory to be considered scientific, it must be falsifiable. Russell's teapot. Russell's teapot. The philosophic burden of proof lies upon a person making empirically unfalsifiable claims, rather than shifting the burden of disproof to others. Sagan's standard. Sagan's standard. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence, such as someone saw a herd of horses standing around in a field on his way to work. Would be a fairly ordinary claim. That wouldn't require much evidence. Another one saw a herd of unicorns would be considered an extraordinary claim, which requires much more substantial evidence in order to prove. Naval's razor. Naval's razor. If you can't decide between two choices, take the path that's more difficult, painful in the short term. Doing this will counteract hyperbolic discounting, the brain's tendency to overestimate short-term pain and underestimate long-term pain. Discomfort razor. Discomfort razor. The more uncomfortable the activity, the more likely it will lead to growth. The more comfortable the activity, the more likely it will lead to stagnation. Tarzwell's razor. Tarzwell's razor. The more emotional you feel, the less you should trust your judgment. Bragging razor. Bragging razor. If someone brags about their success or happiness, assume it's half what they claim. If someone downplays their success or happiness, assume it's double what they claim. Narcissism razor. Narcissism razor. If worried about people's opinions, remember they are too busy worrying about other people's opinions of them. Charisma razor. Charisma razor. If a high-achieving person is charismatic, start with a level of skepticism for each idea they present. If a high-achieving person isn't charismatic, start with a level of openness for each idea they present. Luck razor. Luck razor. If stuck with two equal options, pick the one that feels like it will produce the most luck later down the line. Everyday razor. Everyday razor. If you go from doing a task weekly to daily, you achieve 7 years of output in 1 year. If you apply a 1% compound interest each time, you achieve 54 years of output in 1 year. Network razor. Network razor. If you have two quality people that would benefit from an intro to one another, always do it. Smart friends razor. Smart friends razor. If unsure about a small bet, but your smart friends are sure, take the bet. If you wait for the rest of society to confirm it, you'll be too late. Early late razor. Early late razor. If it's a talking point on Reddit or Twitter, you might be early. If it's a talking point on LinkedIn or Facebook, you're definitely late. Instagram razor. Instagram razor. When you see a photo of an influencer looking attractive on Instagram, assume there are 99 worse variations of that photo you haven't seen, and they just picked the best one. 25 plus razor. 25 plus razor. If you're 25 or older, assume your reactions to new technologies and trends are wrong. If someone under the age of 25 is obsessed with something new, don't dismiss it until you've spent more than 10 hours on it.